comes to my health, I always try to be very cautious of my health, both physically and mentally. So I have my own personal do's and don'ts, just trying to prevent any kind of harm to my health. Well, for instance, nowadays I tend to be very, very strict when it comes to what I eat and what I drink. There are certain types of foods that I have completely scratched off my diet because of the effects that they have, on my health. But all in all, the most important aspect of my health is my mental state. I'm someone who loves to be in control of what I think, and I strongly believe that everything that happens to me physically depends, on my mental health. So I always choose to invest more on my mind. Uh, and I have some sort of goals that I've set for each day, goals that I've set for each week, goals that I've set for each month. And every time I fulfill each of those goals, there is a lot of positivity that comes from that. However, just like everybody else, there are moments when I feel emotionally drained. Uh, well, especially these past 2 months, I have been very hectic for me. I was dealing with a lot of pressure, a lot of issues all at once. When they say it never rains but it pours. Sometimes there's pressure from school, there's pressure from home, and then there is the pressure that I sometimes put myself through when trying to fix everything all at once. Sometimes I would look at my future and wonder if things will actually work out as planned. And I used to get so worried because of that. Sometimes there was anxiety and this fear that something might just go wrong. And that for me has been the most emotionally draining moment. And that kind of pressure sometimes weighed up on me to such an extent that I ended up feeling weak and less motivated than usual. But like I said before, I love to have locus of control. So I've tried to find some ways to deal with the situation and make sure that I'm more determined and more focused than ever before. So my advice to all my fellow brothers who are probably going through the same thing that I faced is that nobody has ever solved anything by worrying. Rather, it only makes things a whole lot worse. So I strongly encourage everyone to be real with the situation and try not to hide the feeling or to bottle up the feeling and pretend as if everything is okay, everything is fine, because part of solving a situation, part of solving a problem begins with acknowledging that there is a problem in the first place, and then from there you find ways of of solving it. Sometimes it could be some self-help tips, like you can exercise, go to the gym just to keep your mind fresh. Sometimes you can read books. You can watch soccer or something, because I love soccer. So you can always find something that you are so interested in, in activity that at least relieves the pressure from you. And you can also make use of creating some kind of goals, so that you don't end up trying to do everything all at once. You start with what is important, you prioritize first on what is important, and then other things follow. For me, that kind of system worked, and it helped me relieve all that kind of pressure that I was having. And sometimes when it gets really hard, you can always find someone to talk to. It's always good to open up, it's always good to share whenever you have some problems that you're not able to solve on your own. And the last question, the fun question. uh, I always wonder why people see males as some kind of supernatural beings who don't get affected with what affects everyone else. That kind of toxic masculinity is what leads to some mental health problems that men face. So that's the kind of question that I have. Thank you.